There are many ways to tell a story, through words like the St. Louis 10, or through a less traditional form of communication like movement and dance. Dances of India brings to new audiences the beauty and visual impact of a 2,000-year-old art form. Each movement has meaning, and the dances often relay sacred stories. Gina Curry has more.
It's a step into a deep-rooted ancient tradition. This South Indian culture is preserved through the colorful pageantry and the distinct movements of classical Indian dance. Founded in 1976 by Asha Prem, Dances of India was the first classical Indian dance company to be established in Missouri. Decades later, the company continues to introduce India's traditions to the Western world.
Asha Prem has done an immense job of maintaining this particular art, specifically in the Midwest. You know, she started it in a very different time, in a different world where there was no internet, there was no sort of global consciousness or awareness. And so bringing this very different dance style to the Midwest was quite innovative.
Well, there are a lot of misconceptions about what Indian dance is. You know, growing up here in the 70s and 80s, there were hardly any Indians here. So my parents had to name the company Dances of India because people thought we were Native American.
Gradually now people are coming to know what Indian dancing is. Many people thought it is belly dancing. As a matter of fact, quite a few kids have asked me, is that belly dancing? No, it's not belly dancing, it's different.
Educating a Western audience required a creative approach for the company.
Asha and I talked about how to entice the Western audience into Indian dance because it's so rich and people miss it. So we took a very, very commonly known story, something that everybody knew, put it with Indian music, and we have a Cinderella story, but it's a story from North India.
It's a great way to teach the culture through art and music. Those are the two probably most universal forms of communication.
Maintaining the dances in their purest form, each new generation preserves the 2,000-year-old art form.
It is important to me, and many of the parents who bring their kids, it's very important to them also, so that the kids can continue with the tradition of Indian dance.
I'm really interested in Indian culture, and I always have been. And I just think that all the different Indian dances are just so beautiful.
It's pretty important. My dad's South Indian, so and his family's really into the whole dancing thing. So I would probably have my kids do it too.
This culture, this dance is beautiful. It helps the kids, little kids. When they grow up, it helps them too.
You know, before dance, I didn't have something that connected my culture to my family and all the stories that I heard about Indian mythology from my parents, you know, bedtime stories, stuff like that. And dance really gave me a chance to express those stories, and I really understood what was going on.
While its origin may be lost in legend, the oldest traditional Indian dance, known as Bharat Natyam, is very much alive today.
Bharat Natyam is such a creative dance in its own way. It's unlike ballet or jazz. Every dance has a meaning and some story behind it. And it's so interesting. You incorporate expressions and intricate footwork, hand movements.
It's just so complicated, and there's so many intricacies involved in it. It's just fascinating.
That's definitely one of my favorite things about Bharat Natyam is the juxtaposition between the expression and then the actual movements themselves.
Each hand movement has a distinct meaning or a set of meanings.
You can show a fish, and then you can show a peacock like this, and a bird like this, and the trees, the branches of the trees like this, flowers, all those.
The sacred dance delivers a moral fable while honoring the deities of the Indian religions.
We grew up hearing stories about all these various gods and goddesses that that are part of our religion and of our culture, and so to interpret them in a dance is very nice. It sort of brings the story and the meaning and the sort of the moral culture behind it to life, you know, so you become much more immersed. And I think for the younger generation, it is a great way to tie religion, culture, and art all together.
For many dancers, it also offers inner peace or a spiritual awakening.
When we're dancing Bharat Natyam, like you really go deep inside yourself with a prayer. It's very devotional. It's also very happy and joyous, and there's a lot of spinning and jumping and turning here too, but it has the capacity to just kind of slow down, and just with your face or just with a simple hand movement, you feel.
It's very relaxing, as physical, as dynamic as it is. It's still very relaxing, just listening to the music, and kind of you just transform into a different world. You just block off everything around you.
For the audience, it's a spectacle of musical movement and swirling colors.
The colors were beautiful, everyone was really graceful. It was really beautiful.
To showcase the precise movements, intricate costumes are hand-created specifically for each dance.
This is, I think, probably as traditional as you get for Bharat Natyam dresses. There are a couple different styles. This is probably the most common. It's 4 pieces. The pants, they have these intricate fans sewn into them, so they're connected, so when you move they kind of open and close to sort of accentuate the movements.
It's a sari. It's about 5.5 or 6 yards, like how my dance teacher is wearing it, and then they cut into pieces, and then now it's made very easy. They're like 4 pieces. You wear it as a pant, and then you wear the blouse. Then there's a little sash that comes around the hips, and then a little piece too for the front.
The historical makeup, hair, and accessories accent the facial expressions.
This is the bindi or the bottu or the tikka, depending on what language you're speaking in India. In the olden days, the women used to wear it like a really big one once they got married, a big round red one. So now it's all for fashion. So, you know, kids like to wear the sparkly ones and stuff like that and match your outfit. And so, but we wear these because it's traditional, it's more traditional. The red color, the length of it stands out on stage too.
Everything's made to emphasize, so the earrings, the headset, all of it is to emphasize the head movements. Then you have the bangles for hand movements, and then of course the anklets.
The ankle jingle bracelets transform the bare foot into a percussion instrument.
I found myself just getting lost in the music and the rhythm with the feet.
It's a complete art. From head to toe, there's always something for the dancer, a good dancer, to do.
That's it for